Hi, today we're going to be talking about netiquette in regards to communication. So first I thought I would explain to you exactly what netiquette is. Netiquette is how you are supposed to behave in a proper way online. So it's the correct or acceptable way of communicating on the internet. I know your mom and dad have rules about how keep your elbows off the table when you eat, or say yes ma'am and no ma'am and yes sir and no sir and things like that. Well, netiquette is the same type of rules and manners really that you're taught in person, but on the virtual community, so that somebody doesn't think that you're yelling at them when you're typing in all capitals and things like that. So we're going to go over a few of the rules when you communicate on the internet, and especially in our virtual learning community. So right now, I want you to pause this video, and you're going to think about some rules for communicating on the internet. What's something that you can think of that would help you and when you're communicating with others online? Welcome back. So here's some things that I wanted to talk to you about. So today we're going to be talking about chatting in CTLS using the live sessions. And we're going to be talking about emailing teachers. And also another one in the future that we're going to be doing is video editing, or netiquette when you're doing a video conference. So when you chat in the CTLS live sessions, the teacher has the chat feature open, and you can share your thoughts and ideas within the chat area. This is seen by everybody in the class. So don't send a message thinking it's just to your friend and it's really to everybody. When you're sending emails to your teachers, that's when you need clarification on something or to discuss something with your teacher. You'll be able to contact them through CTLS, and it will send them an email. Remember, this is going to your teacher directly. So here are 10 netiquette rules for communication. The first one is use proper language. This is a class. You're chatting and you're emailing your teacher and your peers. You need to use correct spelling and grammar. Don't use all caps. Reread and edit before you hit submit. That is very important, because even I have found myself that when I go to send a text, sometimes I need to read it again just to make sure all of my words are spelled correctly, or that the spell check didn't pick something up and put a different word in there. So always reread it and edit it before you hit submit. Avoid using texting language. This is a class, and although your friends may be in class with you who you text all the time, you're not texting them. So do not use emojis or text language like LOL, BRB, JK, or any of the other multitudes that we use. And others are not acceptable in chat or in email. You have to remember, this is a class, so you need to talk like you would to your teacher and type the words out. Your teacher may not know what some of those abbreviations are, so you need to make sure that you are telling them exactly what they need to hear so that they understand it. And they will respond back to you so that you can understand it. The next rule for netiquette is to be precise. Because chat and text and emails are text and not face-to-face, we don't see your facial expressions. So it's difficult to tell the tone that somebody's speaking in. So say what needs to be said in a clear and precise tone. Reread and edit it before you hit submit. And you know what? Something I even do sometimes, if I'm not sure how it's going to come across, I'll ask somebody in my house, or I'll ask somebody at school to look at it and let me know what they think. Is it coming across the wrong way or the right way? Just to make sure. The next netiquette rule is to explain and justify. Sometimes things can be lost in translation. or in text. Be as brief as possible when you explain your view. Don't forget to justify why you feel this way. You may sway others to your way of thinking. Don't just say, I agree. Explain why you agree. Or don't just say, I disagree. Explain why you disagree. All right, so right now what I want you to do is pause the video, and your teacher's going to allow you a few minutes that you can describe ways that you can model some of these tips. So you're probably going to use the chat area on CTLS. All right, so our next set of rules. Read all comments. Make sure you read all of the comments or previous emails before you hit that reply. You may be missing an important information or restating what somebody else already said. The next rule is recognize and respect diversity. Everyone has a different background and life story. We need to realize that their life may help them see things differently. It will also help us to learn different points of view. So we want to recognize it and respect it. The next rule is to tone it down. Okay, I like to use humor as much as the next person. But humor and sarcasm may come across as mean and cruel when it's done through text. So be sure to tone down how you would reply to someone if you were face to face. The next rule is self-control. If someone says something you don't agree and don't get in an argument, even if they try to argue, step back. Don't respond. Keep calm. You can explain your view and your point, but do not make it personal. So in other words, earlier when I said, I disagree with what you said, and here's why, that's not making it personal. If I was to say bad comments to the person in particular, oh, you're silly, or oh, you're stupid, or oh, you don't know what you're talking about, that's making it personal, and we don't want to do that. Now we're going to pause the video again, and we're going to come up with some ways that you can model these tips. Our last two. Take your comments seriously. Commenting just a comment is not what we're looking for. We want you to be actively involved in the discussion by adding to what others have commented or adding new ideas of your own. Stay on topic and add to the conversation. The next rule is to be credible. If you're 100% positive on a topic, great. But do not mislead others with rumors or misinformation from sources that might not be credible. What you share is a reflection of you. You want others to know they can trust you and your opinion and your research. And if you share information that is false, they won't be able to do that. So make sure any information you share is true, accurate, credible, reasonable, and shows support. Now, most of these rules were developed using the e-learning industry's 10 Netiquette tips, and Ms. Foster added a few other things in there as well. Now I want you to talk about those last two and what are some ways that you can model those tips. Now I want you to show what you know. What I'd like for you to do is choose one of those 10 tips and show what you learned. Include why is it important and ways you can follow the tip. Be creative. I'm going to give you some choices on ways that you can show what you know. You can create a graphic or a meme using Adobe Spark, which is in Cobb Digital Library, or any other image creating software. You can write a song, a rap, or a poem, or You can record on the class Flipgrid a video commercial selling why everyone should follow this tip. So you're going to choose one tip and you're going to promote it in some way, whether it's a graphic or a meme, a song or a rap or a poem, or in a commercial on Flipgrid. Next, we're going to talk about emailing your teacher. Sometimes you will need to contact your teacher to ask for clarification, ask a question, or inform them of something important. I'm going to not be in class today because I have a doctor's appointment, or I'm not sure how to do this. Can you explain that step to me again that you went over in class? Or can I meet you during your office hours to talk to you about a problem I'm having with this project? So you're going to have an ability to email your teacher, and we want to make sure that you're doing it correctly. So here's a Netiquette rules for email. Number 1, a subject. Please make sure that your class and topic, for example, ELA 4th period grammar question, is in the subject line. This will help the teacher know exactly what you're talking about in your email. Number 2, no joke. Make sure your email is professional. Remember, it is difficult to hear jokes and sarcasm in text. Keep your email on topic and polite. Number 3, not a text message. This is not a text message, so don't use emojis, text abbreviations, all capital letters, or excessive punctuation. Remember, you're writing to a teacher. Number 4, reread before sending. Make sure you reread your email before sending. You want to look for grammatical errors, but you also want to make sure that you need to state what you need to state is coming across so the teacher can understand what you're saying. Number 5, know who's who. Double check that you're sending the email to the correct teacher and email address. With just one letter or a period in the wrong place, your teacher will not get the email. Number 6, font. This is not the time to be changing fonts to the unusual yet cool fonts or colors. Reading a screen for long periods can damage eyes. Be kind to your teacher by using classic fonts and dark colors like black or dark blue. Number 7, the signature. The email may be written great, but the teacher may not know who they are replying to. Make sure you include your name, first and last, in the email. The signature is the best place to add that to the email. And our final one, type like your grandma is reading. I kind of chuckled when I wrote that title. You know why? Because I always tell students to act like your grandma is watching. If you wouldn't do it in front of your grandma, don't do it here at school. Well, emails like she's reading it. Teacher emails are public record, so please do not put anything in an email that you would not want someone else reading. Now we're going to show what you know. Email your leadership teacher an email to show them you know how to email a teacher, and follow all of those 8 rules. This would be a good opportunity to send your teacher a thank you email and tell them how much you appreciate their hard work going virtual for you. Proper netiquette shows you care about yourself, your classmates, and your teacher. So I hope that you will follow proper netiquette in these virtual learning times and honestly for the rest of your life. These are good tips to always have.